internet goes haunted, chats with small talk. Live stream dreams in a bubble where they got 20 eyes peeking like snakes in the grass, making moves real slow, trying to build a fan base fast. Ain't nobody giving a damn about 20 viewers, any. Scroll right past, ain't no work when you candy. Keep hustling, keep grinding, that's the plan, G. One day you'll be king, steady dreaming about that Grammy. Keyboard warrior fighting for that recognition. Only fans in his room got that air conditioner. Sweaty palms pressing keys for breakthrough. 20 views steady drowning in the digital, quite my dude. Ain't nobody giving a damn about 20 viewers, Andy. Scroll right past, ain't no work when you candy. Keep hustling, keep grinding, that's the plan, G. One day you'll be king, steady dreaming about that Grammy. In a sea of faces, trying to stand out. Noise drowning hopes, cloud of doubt, no clout. Virtual stage, but the spotlight dim. Many clicking past, ain't feeling him. Waiting for the moment, blow up like a piston. Haters gonna hate, but persistence gonna glisten. Hold tight, 20 turn 200 someday. Laugh in the face, shouting who wants some pay. Nobody giving a damn about 20 viewers, Andy. Scroll right past, ain't no work, then you candy. Keep hustling, keep grinding, that's the plan, G. One day you'll be king, steady dreaming about that Grammy. Keyboard warrior fighting for that recognition. Only fans in his room got that air conditioner. Sweaty palms pressing keys for breakthrough. 20 views steady drowning in the digital, quite my dude. Ain't nobody giving a damn about 20 viewers, Andy. Scroll right past, ain't no work, then you candy. Keep hustling, keep grinding, that's the plan, G. One day you'll be king, steady dreaming about that Grammy. In a sea of faces, trying to stand out. Noise drowning hopes, cloud of doubt, no clout. Virtual stage, but the spotlight dim. Many clicking past, ain't feeling him. Waiting for the moment, blow up like a piston. Haters gonna hate, but persistence gonna glisten. Hold tight, 20 turn 200 someday. Laugh in the face, shouting who wants some pay. Waiting for the moment, blow up like a piston. Haters gonna hate, but persistence gonna glisten. Hold tight, 20 turn 200 someday. Laugh in the face, shouting who wants some pay. Yeah. Globus never sleeps. Globus never sleeps. The globus never sleeps, man, the mind's always restless. Night owl in the shadows, playing moves like a chess set. While the world dozes off, I'm constructing my schemes. Blueprints of the future in the fragments of dreams. Sleep is the cousin of death, I'm avoiding the kid. Eyes wide open, let the journey begin. Through the labyrinth of thought, where the weak hearts break. But I'm digging through the darkness, chasing dawn before it wakes. The globus never sleeps, cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked, I'm wide-eyed and driven. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid. Ink spills from the pen like a river through my veins, flooding every page with the echoes of the pain. I'm a wordsmith with a purpose, carving truths from the lies. When the world's counting sheep, I'm counting how time flies. Insomniac mind, every second is a weapon. In the war against the clock, I'm always stepping. Sleep's a cousin I disown, no comfort in the night. Just a canvas for my thoughts painted in the twilight. The globus never sleeps, cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked, I'm wide-eyed and driven. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid. Dreams of for the sleeping, but I'm living in the real. Grinding through the dark where the truth is revealed. Every thought a spark, every line a fuse. I'm a torch in the night, no time left to lose. The world's spinning slow, but my mind's in a race. Chasing every moment, there's no time to waste. Eyes like a hawk, seeing every crack and crevice. In this waking life, every second is precious. I keep my thoughts sharp like a blade in the night. While they're lost in their dreams, I'm honing my sight. Sleep is a cousin I've learned to forget, cause the globus never sleeps, there's no time to rest yet. The globus never sleeps, cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked, I'm wide-eyed and driven. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid. The globus never sleeps, cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked, I'm wide-eyed and driven. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid. Oh yeah, dreams are for the sleeping, but I'm living in the real. Grinding through the dark where the truth is revealed. Every thought a spark, every line a fuse. I'm a torch in the night, no time left to lose. The world never sleeps, cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked, I'm wide-eyed and driven. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid. My thoughts stay vivid. In the silence of the night, my thoughts stay vivid.
Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What up, Cosmic? What up, Reed? What up, bots? What up, lurkers? If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that bell to stay notified. This is the news. And Reed, you're late. Reed, you were actually late. We were supposed to watch a Playboy Cardi AI video yesterday, Reed. And there was no Reed. How could I watch a Playboy Cardi AI video, Reed, without Reed? Let's do the news. New ChatGPT birthday on Judgment Day? Happy birthday, Reed. Congrats on making another revolution around the sun. Also, though I don't buy into astrology, congrats on being born under the correct astrological sign. Well done there as well. New ChatGPT prompt goes viral with Sam Altman's approval. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT, in case you didn't know. What up, Adam? Put his name to a new viral trend on the platform recently when he retweeted it on X, formerly Twitter, with "Love this," added in response to a tweet that has got ChatGPT users enthralled. The original tweet from writer Tom Morgan says simply, ask ChatGPT from all our interactions, what is the one thing you can tell me about myself that I may not know about myself? James did it yesterday because you weren't here to use your Prime sub. It's initiative. It's opportunity. It's a simple prompt, but many people have been finding it very insightful. Posted on the Reddit group called ChatGPT, the post had already racked up 10,000 upvotes and generated 1.8k comments at the time of writing. From the user responses, it seems that this particular ChatGPT prompt has found a way of resonating with people, providing an instant peek into their own psychological makeup. All right. So here we go. Do 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 do. One thing that stands out from our interactions is that you have a remarkable knack for synthesizing diverse and complex ideas into accessible formats for others, whether through your stream, your book project, or how you explain game strategies. You often connect seemingly unrelated concepts across history, economics, and technology to create a cohesive narrative, and this ability to bridge gaps is pretty unique. It suggests you're not just interested in understanding topics deeply for yourself, but you genuinely aim to foster comprehension in others, often by challenging conventional thinking. Does that resonate with how you see yourself? What do you think, chat? What do you think? This only works if you have subscribed to the paid for version of ChatGPT, since the free version has no memory of you from the last time you used it. So, how could it use such mumbo jumbo? All right. Chinese researchers break RSA encryption with a quantum computer. A research team led by Wang Chao from Shanghai University found that D-Wave's quantum computers can optimize problem solving in a way that makes it possible to attack encryption methods such as RSA. Ah. In a potentially alarming development for global cybersecurity, Chinese researchers have unveiled a method using D-Wave's quantum annealing system to crack classic encryption, potentially accelerating the timeline for when quantum computers could pose a real threat to widely used cryptographic systems. Published in the Chinese Journal of Computers under the title Quantum Annealing Public Key Cryptographic Attack Algorithm Based on D-Wave Advantage, the paper outlined how D-Wave's machines were used to break RSA encryption and attack symmetric encryption systems, raising serious questions about the future of cybersecurity. The research team, led by Wang Chao from Shanghai University, found that D-Wave's quantum computers can optimize problem solving in a way that makes it possible to attack encryption methods such as RSA. Using the D-Wave advantage, we've successfully factored a 22-bit RSA integer, demonstrating the potential for quantum machines to tackle cryptographic problems. This is the first time that a real quantum computer has posed a substantial threat to multiple full-scale SPN structured algorithms in use today. So there it is. It's game on. The implications for this research are significant. Experts have long believed that quantum computers could eventually break today's encryption, but this study suggests that the timeline for such threats may be much shorter than expected. The advancement of quantum computers can seriously threaten data security and privacy for various enterprises, affecting fundamental principles such as confidentiality, integrity, and authentication. This makes it essential to reassess the security of these cryptographic methods. The team pointed out that data being encrypted today could be at risk if adversaries are stealing it with the intention of decrypting it in the future when quantum technology advances. Organizations need to reconsider how they secure their data as quantum attacks become a real possibility. So, yeah, brace yourself. Once again, everything is changing at high speed. Genie's out the bottle. A little climate change news, a little, since we're terrifying everybody this morning. What up, X1011? It is in fact happening. Trees and land absorbed almost no CO2 last year. Cool. Cool. Is nature's carbon sink failing? Sudden collapse of carbon sinks was not factored into climate models and could rapidly accelerate global heating. So, like, I understand it's fun to meme on the idea of carbon capture. What up, Red Hobbit? Like the carbon capture machines to suck carbon out of the air, but could be a problem. Phytoplankton in this image, phytoplankton in the Barents Sea. Melting sea ice exposes algae-eating zooplankton to more sunlight, which could cut the amount of carbon stored on the seabed. It begins each day at nightfall. As the light disappears, billions of zooplankton, crustaceans, and other marine organisms rise to the ocean surface to feed on microscopic algae, returning to the depths at sunrise. The waste from this frenzy, Earth's largest migration of creatures, sinks to the ocean floor, removing millions of tons of carbon from the atmosphere each year. The activity is one of thousands of natural processes that regulate the Earth's climate. Together, the plant's ocean, forests, soils, and other natural carbon sinks absorb about half of all human emissions. I understand, Cosmic. That's why it's important that we work on the technology and hook them up to non-carbon producing devices. Because the alternative, Cosmic, is nothing. Right? The alternative is nothing. The alternative is that we just go ahead and strap in and wait for whatever the fuck happens. So, we need the carbon capture machines. But as Earth heats up, scientists are increasingly concerned that those crucial processes are breaking down. In 2023, the hottest year ever recorded, preliminary findings by an international team of researchers show the amount of carbon absorbed by land has temporarily collapsed. Final result was that forest, plants, and soil, as a net category, absorbed almost no carbon. There are warning signs at sea, too. Greenland's glaciers and Arctic ice sheets are melting faster than expected, which is disrupting the Gulf Stream ocean current and slows the rate at which oceans absorb carbon. For the algae-eating zooplankton, melting sea ice is exposing them to more sunlight, a shift scientists say could keep them in the depths for longer. disrupting the vertical migration that stores carbon on the ocean floor. We're seeing cracks in the resilience of Earth's systems. We're seeing massive cracks on land. Terrestrial ecosystems are losing their carbon store and carbon uptake capacity. But the oceans are also showing signs of instability. Nature has so far balanced our abuse. This is coming to an end. The 2023 breakdown of the land carbon sink could be temporary. Without the pressures of drought or wildfires, land would return to absorbing carbon again. But it demonstrates the fragility of these ecosystems with massive implications for the climate crisis. Reaching net zero is impossible without nature. In the absence of technology that can remove atmospheric carbon on a large scale, the Earth's vast forests, grassland, peat bogs, and oceans are the only option for absorbing human carbon pollution, which reached a record 37.4 billion tons in 2023. At least 118 countries are relying on the land to meet national climate targets. But rising temperatures, increased extreme weather, and droughts are pushing the ecosystems into uncharted territory. The kind of rapid land sink collapse seen in 2023 has not been factored into most climate models. If it continues, it raises the prospect of rapid global heating beyond what those models have predicted. We have been lulled. We cannot see the crisis. For the past 12,000 years, the Earth's climate has existed in a fragile equilibrium. Its stable weather patterns allowed the development of modern agriculture, which now supports a population of more than 8 billion people. As human emissions rose, the amount absorbed by nature increased too. Higher carbon dioxide can mean plants grow faster, storing more carbon. But this balance is beginning to shift, driven by rising heat. This stressed planet has been silently helping us and allowing us to shove our debt under the carpet thanks to biodiversity. We are lulled into a comfort zone. We cannot really see the crisis. Only one major tropical rainforest, the Congo Basin, remains a strong carbon sink that removes more than it releases into the atmosphere. Exacerbated by El Nino weather patterns, deforestation, and global heating, the Amazon basin is experiencing a record breaking drought, with rivers at an all time low. Expansion of agriculture has turned tropical rainforests in Southeast Asia into a net source of emissions in recent years. Emissions from soil, which is the second largest active carbon store after the oceans, which would make sense because there's only the two there, are expected to increase by as much as 40% by the end of the century if they continue at the current rate as soils become drier and microbes break them down faster. We are seeing in the biosphere some surprising responses that are not what got predicted, just as we are in the climate. You have to question, to what degree can we rely on them as carbon sinks or carbon stores? So yeah, as long as we don't have droughts or wildfires, we should be okay. Good thing we're not getting droughts and wildfires. Whee! So we briefly touched on the Wii robot event, wherein Elon debuted his Robovin, his taxi, and Tesla's Optimus bot was on display. Well, Tesla's Optimus bots were controlled by humans during the We Robot event. During Tesla's We Robot event last week, which TechCrunch covered late into the night, sources on the ground sent me a handful of videos of the automaker's Optimus humanoid robots walking around the party, dancing, mixing drinks, and talking to guests. Most, if not all, of those who attended the affair are Tesla investors and fans. And so it wasn't surprising that the messages I received alongside the videos, including glowing comments about how advanced the robots were. I asked one investor who sent me a video of an Optimus doing different voices on command whether he thought it was remote controlled or if it was perhaps, incredibly, powered by Grok. He told me that he thought it was indeed Grok enabling the robot to converse with him. Did he ask the bot how it was able to talk to him? No, he said. He was too blown away. That appears to have been the point for Tesla, to inspire awe and a vision of the future. Others, including myself, were not as dazzled by what seems to have been sleight of hand at an event designed to engender enthusiasm among investors and fans. Bloomberg, The Verge, and other outlets have reported that the bots were being remotely operated by humans, a conclusion that is easy enough to arrive at considering that they all had different voices and their responses and hand gestures were immediate and synchronized. And yet they still danced poorly. uh Sources familiar with the matter told Bloomberg that while Optimus prototypes were able to walk without external control using AI, employees stationed remotely oversaw many of the interactions between the bots and attendees. Yeah. Oh, Elon. Oh, Elon. All right. So we talked about how the Chinese had indicated that they were able to train an AI across multiple data centers, and we talked about how OpenAI and Microsoft are attempting to train a model across multiple data centers, or at least that's the indication based on what Microsoft has been doing. Then there's Intellect One, the first decentralized 10 billion parameter AI model training. Journey to building open source and collaborative AI has faced numerous challenges. One major problem is the centralization of AI model development, which has largely been controlled by big AI players with vast resources. This concentration of power limits opportunities for broader participation in the AI development process and makes advanced AI inaccessible to the wider community. Another challenge is the high cost and resource requirements for training large AI models, which further prevents small organizations and individuals from contributing to AI advancements. There's also a need for greater transparency and diversity in AI development, as models created in centralized environments are often prone to biases and lack the varied perspectives that could come from a more inclusive approach. Addressing these issues is crucial to ensure that AI technology benefits everyone rather than being controlled by a select few. Prime Intellect AI launches Intellect One, the first decentralized training run of a 10 billion parameter model, inviting anyone to contribute, compute, and participate. This initiative breaks new ground by pushing the limits of decentralized AI training to a scale previously thought impossible. with Intellect One, Prime Intellect AI is scaling decentralized training 10 times beyond previous efforts, aiming to redefine how we approach the development of large-scale AI models. Technically, Intellect One is a 10 billion parameter model training, an impressive scale that allows it to understand and generate human-like responses to complex queries across diverse contexts. By adopting a decentralized training approach, Prime Intellect AI is leveraging a network of distributed computing resources, which collectively add up to the power required for such large scale training. This approach reduces reliance on expensive centralized supercomputers and promotes the efficient use of available resources from individual contributors. The model uses innovative coordination techniques to divide the workload efficiently, allowing for parallel computation and reduced training time. Participants contributing their compute resources will benefit from being part of a pioneering technology project, gaining experience in cutting edge AI techniques, and contributing to a truly open AI model that remains available for everyone's use without restrictive licensing agreements. So, yeah, big if true. If it works, it's another advancement down that decentralized role. It's also open source. We'll see what happens. Google orders small modular nuclear reactors for its data centers. Gravity works. Google has made a groundbreaking move in the tech industry by ordering 6 to 7 small modular nuclear reactors from Kairos Power to power its data centers. This marks the first instance of a major technology company commissioning new nuclear reactors to meet its energy needs. Yeah, then you should probably look into it, Cosmic. Significance of the deal. The agreement between Google and Kairos Power represents, what up, Sig? A significant shift in how tech companies approach their energy requirements. Google is leading the way as the first tech giant to invest in nuclear power for its operations, energy security by securing its own power source. Google aims to ensure a stable and reliable energy supply for its data centers. Nuclear power, particularly SMRs, can provide a low carbon alternative to fossil fuels, aligning with Google's environmental goals. Their modular nature allows for easier deployment and scaling, typically require less space than conventional nuclear reactors, and modern SMR designs often incorporate advanced safety features. But this is the thing, right? When people come in, they ask, like, what about the power requirements? What are we going to do about the power? What are we going to do about the electricity? What are we going to do about this, that, and the third? They are going to make it happen. And the advantage is that if Google is a trendsetter, then that will mean that more of these SMRs are built, not only for Google, but for other companies. And then potential economies of scale begin to kick in. And then we could see more deployment of these SMRs around the country. What up, Pharaoh? Yep. It was just a matter of the incentives, right? These companies need more electricity. The market wasn't providing that as an option, so they sought a different alternative. The existing electric companies have no, they are too, generally speaking, they are too set in their ways to adapt quickly to the changing situation on the ground. This has been obvious to most of us, but there hasn't been an impetus in order for them to change that behavior. The U.S. Defense and Homeland Security departments have paid $700 million for AI projects since ChatGPT's launch. Something something bubble, something something hype, something something collapse. Since ChatGPT's launch, the U.S. Department of Defense and Department of Homeland Security have significantly increased their investments in artificial intelligence projects. The Department of Defense has awarded approximately $670 million in contracts to 323 companies for AI related work over the past 2 years. This represents a substantial increase in AI spending since the release of ChatGPT. ECS, whoever the hell that is, $117 million initial contract, now grown to $174 million for developing AI machine learning algorithms for the U.S. Army. And Palantir, yay, it's Palantir. Palantir, $91 million to test an end-to-end AI approach for defense cases. The DHS has awarded $22 million in contracts to 20 companies for AI work in 2022 and 23, which is more than triple its spending in the previous 2-year period. LMD, a marketing firm, $4 million for AI services for the U.S. Coast Guard. Nobilis Inc., 2 contracts totaling over $6 million for AI analytics and support. The DoD has 83 active contracts classified as indefinite delivery vehicles for generative AI work. Generative AI, of course, being worthless and nothing but hype and having no practical value. With potential individual awards ranging from $4 million to $60 million. These contracts are fully executed. The department's AI spending could exceed $1 billion by next year, which is a drop in the bucket compared to the entire defense budget, but significant in its growth. So yeah, we will not be seeing any AI military treaties anytime soon. Sorry. AI is definitely coming for your job. One of the big promises of AI is that it will automate repetitive tasks, freeing up humans to focus on more creative work. But the freeing up humans ideal only works if we still have jobs that employers value enough to pay for. Bring this up because when it comes to concerns that Gen AI will snatch jobs from people, various kinds of writers land at the top of the list. It's because AI tools can take a whack at composing everything from emails to resumes to novels and wedding vows and deliver text for you to review in seconds, as Grammarly has noted. Now, Connie Guglielmo. Morning, Ellie. Um, Honey says, I don't buy that AI will lead to the demise of writing jobs, let alone that it will replace writers. Because whatever you do is something that can't be done by the machine. Neither do others, with author Ted Chiang questioning whether an AI can produce art, and novelist Anita Felicelli arguing that an algorithm trained on well-known books can't find what's both moving and surprising the way skilled authors can. With tools like ChatGPT, we'll figure out three-act structure, cliffhanger endings for chapters, and what events will titillate readers faster to maintain reader attention. But I do believe, along with pretty much everyone else who studies the future of jobs, that Gen AI will reduce opportunities for all kinds of workers, writers among them. All kinds of jobs will be outsourced to the robots as companies across industries look to cut costs and get a return from their investment in AI. I mention this because I'm hearing more and more among my circle in Silicon Valley that while writers should be concerned, a group as likely to be affected by the AI displacement effect will be those who helped create AI in the first place, software engineers. Of course, you'll find plenty of arguments about why AI can't replace engineers. But that doesn't mean software creatives will be any less vulnerable than writers to a rethink of their role as tech companies turn to AI tools to boost productivity among a group that's typically been their most expensive workers. My musing on this is prompted by recent comments from two high-profile tech executives. First, the chief of Amazon Web Services, Matt Garman, predicted that the company's software engineers could soon be forced to find responsibilities other than coding due to the rise of AI. It just means that each of us has to get more in tune with what our customers need and what the actual end thing is that we're going to try to go build, because that's going to be more and more of what the work is, as opposed to sitting down and actually writing code. And last week, co-founder of Anthropic, Daniela Amadei, told the information about how the maker of Claude is using the chatbot to help its developers write code. Though Claude can't fully replace engineers and needs some coaching, the publication reported, quoting Amadei, Anthropic developers have dramatically increased their productivity. That's great, the publication continued, as Anthropic attempts to address the overriding question for artificial intelligence developers as to whether they can generate enough revenue to offset the high cost of compute talent. Morning, Jimbo. It's not even, you shouldn't think of it necessarily as the job, right? What was brought up in one of the books, I think it was A World Without Work. It's not a question of whether a job, a wholesale job, can be replaced. It's about the tasks within that job. And as we look at what we do, anything routine, anything repetitive, anything that we can demonstrate through a flow chart has a high degree of potential to be replaced with automation. And then from that point, if it can replace 90% of what someone does as a human, then that means out of a group of 10, you can have one person do the remaining 10% for these machines, for 10 of these machines, and the other 9 people are out of a job, which is why I've been telling everyone from the outset, you need to be the AI whisperer at your job. If you are not the AI whisperer at your job, you are one of the other 9 people. Be the AI whisperer at your job. To be sure, neither Garmin nor AMAI predicted the demise of software engineers, just that AI will change what they do. When I do a Google search on how artificial intelligence will alter software work, Google's AI overview feature tells me that AI can automate repetitive tasks like code reviews, testing, and debugging, allowing developers to focus on more creative work. That's all well and good, assuming they still have a job that employers value enough to pay for. Another issue that comes up, wages, part of wages and the leverage that capital uses to keep wages low is the pool of talent. If there are other people available to do the job, then you are forced, to a certain extent, you are coerced to accept lower wages for the same work that you did before. Uh, so, if you're interested, Bain and Company, we love Bain. We love Bain Capital, don't we? Don't we? We love Bain and Company. Shared thoughts last month on how software development will change in an AI powered world. Meanwhile, Fast Company reported that the founding president of Google China, Kai-Fu Lee, agrees there will be countless new jobs created by the effort to optimize AI, which will require a human touch. What jobs? Positions like prompt manager, AI trainer, AI auditor, AI ethicists, and machine managers will be necessary in order to help companies develop and use AI in a safe and responsible and effective way. What he seems to be saying is that if you're concerned about AI coming for your job, you might want to upskill. Oh, yay, upskilling to a job centered on the care and feeding of AI. I don't know about that. But I do know that if software engineers need to start rethinking what they do, then it's probably time we all reflect on how AI will change our jobs in the not too distant future. What up, Maddie? AI experience, minimum 10 years. Yeah. So recently there was an issue with the Internet Archive wherein the Internet Archive, prior to suffering a data breach and a DDoS attack, were found to be in violation of copyright and so on and so forth. My understanding is that the Internet Archive is back up, and it's in read-only mode. So you can't use like the Wayback Machine to check out your brand new articles, but if it's already been stored in their system, then you can check out those kind of things. And in concert with that, Let me read their. I can't even look at it. That's what's annoying, especially annoying about this crap, is that it blocks the title of the. So you're not even hooking me with your headline when you throw this shit in front of me. Anyways, the article introduces or discusses the concept of digital dark ages, highlighting the increasing loss of digital content and its potential impact on our collective memory and cultural heritage. Yeah, I saw an article that it was back up today. It might, in a read only mode, it might be taken down for some reason. Again, but in the meantime, it is available in the somewhat restricted way. Google's announcement about deactivating its URL shortener service serves as a catalyst for discussing a broader issue, the vanishing of digital content. There was also recently a court case about preservation of video games as a form of art. There is, right? Especially people who want to make money off things. This event is part of a larger trend where significant portions of the internet are becoming inaccessible or disappearing entirely. Uh, Several factors contribute to this phenomenon. Link rot, URLs becoming inactive over time. Have you ever looked at your bookmarks? You know, if you've used the same browser or, moved your bookmarks, migrated your bookmarks from browser to browser as you've moved on. Have you ever gone back to look at an old bookmark and find that the thing is no longer there? Link rot. Bankruptcy of social networks and digital platforms, closure of digital journalism sites, companies discontinuing online products, file degradation, and loss. The loss of digital content has far reaching consequences. Historical gaps, with the internet serving as the default archive for our history and culture, its degradation creates significant gaps in our collective memory. Loss of cultural artifacts, entire archives of websites, social media platforms, and digital services have disappeared, taking with them valuable cultural content. Unlike physical artifacts, digital content is inherently fragile and ephemeral, making preservation efforts more challenging. Some initiatives are working to combat this digital loss, including the Wayback Machine. This project aims to collect and save digital copies of web pages for posterity, archiving billions of URLs daily. And Wikipedia link maintenance, efforts to preserve and update the vast number of links across Wikipedia various language editions. Future concerns. The article raises several concerns about the future of digital preservation, AI related challenges. The rise of AI is creating new obstacles for archiving efforts as websites block crawler bots to prevent AI from accessing their content. Corporate ownership. The concentration of digital content under large corporations may lead to less responsible long term stewardship of digital information. And shifting baseline syndrome. The loss of digital records can distort our perception of historical norms and changes over time. The article concludes by drawing a parallel between the potential digital dark ages and the historical dark ages, suggesting that our current trajectory may lead to a significant loss of cultural and historical information for future generations. What a major difference. Um, a major difference between a digital dark ages and the historical dark ages was that the historical dark ages was a very European issue, right? It was the collapse of the Roman Empire and the data transmission and storage of that time period in Europe, which wasn't necessarily as bad as some might perceive, but outside of Europe, much of that information was stored, right? And the post Dark Age period was the reincorporating of that information from these outside data stores into Europe. Uh, I mean, it's possible to compare it to the Library of Alexandria. Like, how would you know? That's part of the problem. The Library of Alexandria could have contained a whole lot of bunk, right? But it could have contained some really important shit. And we'll never know. And that's the concern, right? The stuff that's going to be lost under this type of situation is we already don't know what we've lost. Most of these things are completely overblown in terms of actual history, which is why the nature of it being a particularly European issue, right? Like the information was there. There's no other internet though, right? There's no caliphate internet to um to restock the European internet if it all falls apart. So, for the most part, Cosmic, you can still access things that you have paid for, even if you stop subscribing. Um, but at any point in time, what I'm saying is that the Dark Ages is considered an ahistoric and bad term by historians. Understood. And I agree. That's why we do the crime bunnies every time I say Dark Ages when I'm talking about the historical Dark Ages. But the metaphorical Dark Ages that exist in the cultural um, zeitgeist around the perception of what the Dark Ages um, was about is relevant to the concept of this digital dark age. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm doing crime buddies every time where I'm doing the historical dark ages. Yeah, because I'm with you on that. Dark ages weren't all that dark. I had that too, Cosmic. I had my wife and I maintain a joint account just to transfer money between us, and we don't often have anything, in it. It has a singular purpose. And my bank was like, hey, or my credit union was like, hey. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put $5 in there and you better not fucking touch it. And that put an end to that conversation. Where was I? Checking. Yeah. Why OpenAI's voice mode, Meta's Llama, and Apple AI won't be coming to Europe yet. As the technology giants announce their latest artificial intelligence models, consumers in Europe will have to wait before being able to use them, and that's if they arrive at all. The main reason for this is due to legal uncertainty, as Europe has stricter regulations, the tech companies say. But experts argue it could also be a way of putting pressure on European Union policymakers. ChatGPT's advanced voice mode launched in the UK last week, but not in the EU. This could be due to concerns about Europe's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, which requires some products to be reviewed by the EU Data Commissioner before launch. However, advanced voice mode is the only OpenAI feature not to reach Europe yet, so it could be a matter of time before it does. Europe is a key region for us, and we're committed to working with European institutions to offer our products here, says OpenAI. Banks also won't let you put cash into someone else's account. You have to transfer it digitally now, basically, so they can track the money for taxing. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean that's your that's your government wanting to know where the money is, right? Because otherwise you just do a little light money laundering and then the money is gone. Oh, pressure on policymakers. However, two tech titans. That's good. The Beanie Babies. I hear the Beanie Babies are making a comeback. Two tech titans have decided not to launch in Europe at all. Apple announced its AI-capable iPhone 16 at its developer conference last month, but the AI technology will not reach Europe. Apple has specifically said this was due to complications the company would face under EU's Digital Markets Act. Apple would have to open up its iOS system and API products to third party developers and offer users the ability to choose other AI products to potentially integrate into the new iPhones, which Apple has said would create security hazards. This guy. Several weeks later, Meta also had its developer conference and announced upgrades to its Llama AI product, but that too will not be coming to Europe. The Instagram and Facebook parent company said this is due to concern about Europe's GDPR rules. Both companies also did not sign a so called EU AI Pact, a non binding agreement that demonstrates their commitment to the EU AI Act. But so did the French AI champion Mistral and the US company Anthropic. I think this is a larger issue of EU regulations forcing US companies to consider whether they will release products in Europe. Main reason is legal uncertainty, the fear they may break regulations. Also, could be a way of putting pressure on policymakers to slow down regulation. Georgios Verdi, policy fellow at the European Council on Foreign Relations, agreed that not rolling out AI technologies could be a company strategy to put pressure to the EU in order to create policy and regulatory changes. It has long been the demand of these companies to either remove some of these obligations altogether or simplify them. So this is a great tactic. Verdi said that on the flip side, some companies are losing money from not launching in Europe, so they may change tack. The latest example of this was Google's AI chatbot Bard. Do they still call it Bard? Which initially did not roll out in Europe due to not meeting GDPR, but did so later in 2023. Oh, we're talking about history. after engaging in some regulatory dialogue with the Irish Data Commission and European regulators. We have to see how much they choose to withdraw their products from Europe, and I would argue that it may not be long actually, because Europe and its single market remains a very lucrative market for these tech companies. As for European consumers, the impact of not having the AI models is minimal. Verity said, as most citizens don't want to see their data being mishandled or don't want innovation without any safeguards. Some in the European tech industry have also told Euronews Next that the EU AI Act may create additional regulatory barriers that will benefit American and Chinese competition and reduce opportunities for European AI champions to merge. Competitiveness could be another barrier for Europe that gets in the way of smaller European companies. At the end of the day, competitiveness is not only about innovating new products, but also being able to integrate those products so that they enhance the competitiveness and the productivity of European companies. Final impact of AI models not rolling out in Europe is that it could increase the fragmentation between US and European markets. So far, the effect has been limited, but European regulators must also ensure that this doesn't continue in the interest of both European citizens and American citizens. These two markets should continue cooperating for continued trade between them rather than pushing for more technological fragmentation as we have seen lately. I'm going to go with no because where was it? GPT's advanced voice mode launched in the UK last week, but not in the EU. So that would be a strong indicator that that is not the case. Okay. I need to cut it short. I am not feeling particularly well this morning. That's why there was a delay on me getting started this morning. I do apologize for a short one today. I'm going, I probably won't be back this evening. I should be back tomorrow morning without incident. It's just, just life. Shout out the homie Paradigm. Because every one of these chuckle fucks is out here talking about the conversation between Hassan and Asman Gold, and Paradigm was covering it live when it happened. So, like myself in scooping the whole notebook LM thing, your boy was there first. You should definitely be following. Shout out the underscore paradigm underscore gift. I'm gonna take you over to music because none of you want to deal with that crap. We're going over to the homie Beat Cleaver. Stick around for the raid, even if you got someplace else to be and you do want to go observe that crap. I'm not judging. I'm a little judging. I'm a little judging. Asmund Gold is special kind of guy. One of you actually hit the leave button. I'm disappointed. I watched it go up to 19 and then down to 18. How are we going to build an ecosystem if y'all don't participate? This is the question. Anyways, I appreciate every single one of you, even the ones who aren't participating in the raid, and you know who you are. And in the meantime, drink your water, eat some food, take your meds if you forgot, and always remember that Shaggy loves you. So do I. Be great.